Ohayo gozaimasu, everybody. How are you doing? Today I'm going to tell you the perfect Fujifilm creator's kit in 2024. I'm just going to quickly lower this down a little bit that I can sit down because this half squat is really uncomfortable. Straight to the point, what is the perfect Fujifilm creator's kit in 2024? Just a heads up, first I'm going to tell you what I use, and then I'm going to tell you what you can substitute my gear with, some cheaper options maybe and stuff like that. So just hang in there. Now, first of all, the bodies. What I mainly use is the XH2S. It has great video capabilities. You can shoot up to 6.2K in open gate, which means that you can shoot in 3x2 and use the whole sensor, and it gives you more variety in editing and cropping in. It can do 4K 120, but 120 FPS nowadays. I know I used it when I was starting off. I used it a lot. I love it. I use it in this video when I'm showing you these equipment, but otherwise I think that nowadays it's more of a means to an end to cover up a bad story, you know. Then I have a second body that is the XH2. It can take 40 megapixel photos and it can shoot up to 8K. Now 8K is something that you don't actually need in this day and age, and even my Mac Studio can handle 8K. It starts getting choppy, the editing gets choppy, and it takes quite a while to render that video. So 8K is something that you don't need unless you have a supercomputer, so go for it. Now the downsides about the XH2 is that it's got a hell of a rolling shutter. If you're doing run and gun situations or vlogging handheld, you're gonna see that rolling shutter, and it doesn't have 6.2K open gate. Now comparing the bodies of the XH2 and the XH2S, they're pretty similar. They're similar. The only thing that distincts the XH2 from the XH2S is the S on the camera. Now the substitutes for these cameras. For cheaper models, you can get the X-T4, pretty cheap used nowadays. I wouldn't get the X-T3 because you don't have IBIS and you don't have a flip screen there. So the X-T4 has an IBIS and a flip screen, which helps you out pretty much. But the downside is that it only records for 30 minutes. Now then there's the XS20, that is a newer camera. I think it's about 1500 new, and it has all the capabilities that the newer cameras have. It has a greater IBIS than the X-T4, and it uses the older sensor from the X-T4, which is a great sensor. It's the X-Trans 4. Now the lenses that I use, and I use two lenses 90% of the time. I use the Viltrox 13mm to do run and gun situations, handheld situations. The 13mm is wide enough for handheld. It feels great, it's sharp, it's nice, it's cheap. So the Viltrox 13mm, and the second lens that I use is the 17 to 70mm Tamron lens for stationary situations like this and B-roll, because you can, you know, zoom up to 70mm to get a narrower shot. So that's kind of cool, and that's all you need, because otherwise I'd be using like the 56mm or the 50mm, and that's just extra carry in your bag. So two lenses are enough, and these work great, perfectly great. Now, of course, what you want when you're creating audio is a microphone. Microphone boosts your audio, and audio, when it's good, it boosts your video, because most of the people actually prefer great audio over great video. That is something that is sometimes hard to put your mind around, but still, great audio, when it sounds good, you can actually just listen and do something else than watch the video. Now with the microphones, it actually depends on what kind of content you do. If you do vlogs, handheld stuff, you want a shotgun microphone. What I use is the Senheiser MKE600. Blah 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 blah. It is one of the mid-ranged prices in the Sennheiser collection, but otherwise a Rode or a Boya, they were really fun. My first microphone was Boya, and I loved it. It was great for vlogging. Now, if you do all kinds of content, stationary content, I highly suggest the DJI mic or the DJI 2 that I got right here, because it gives you a lot of variety on how to film your videos. You can be further away, you can be close up, you can actually use it in vlogs too. I've used it in vlogs, it's great for that too. So the DJI mic, or actually any kind of wireless mic, even a Rode, could be great. I haven't tried a Rode, so I don't actually know how it works, but I love this. DJI is cheaper than a Rode, and it works perfectly fine. So now, last but not least, you're gonna need a mini tripod. When you're vlogging, holding handheld, you get more extent from your footage. You can shoot further away because, well, the mini tripod gives you more extended reach. And if you're putting your camera stationary, it actually gives you more stability, and it's easier to use. So what I use is the Mantispod Pro. Hey everybody, today I was thinking about saving the climate my own way and doing nothing for the whole day, so stick around. The Mantispod Pro is great. It's got a great grip. It also has some accessories with it. So if you want to shoot with, let's say, your iPhone or any kind of phone, it has the phone accessories to attach onto the mini tripod and stuff like that. So it's a great mini tripod. Now that wasn't actually the last thing. The last thing that you are going to need is an ND filter. An ND filter is great because you are constantly shooting at shutter speed 48 for the second, 23, 24 frames per second, 25 frames per second if you want to, but I usually shoot at 24. And it is great because you can just, screw the ND filter to get your lighting corrected, and you don't have to play with shutter speeds or, aperture or anything like that. So it is great. It is something that you are going to need. Now, my ND filter is bought from Wish for $5, and it's worked great for many years. It's the one on here right now. I don't need anything else. I got Peter McKinnon's ND filters, mist filters, stuff like that, but they are so expensive, and I've actually busted one, and that kind of broke my heart. If I felt it to the core, I don't want to experience that ever again unless I'm doing some really high quality content. Then I'm using my VND PM mist carbonated, bulletproof. No, they're not bulletproof because I busted one already. But yeah, whatever. Yeah, you can buy those too, but I highly suggest just getting a cheap one when you're starting out, especially when you're starting out, and it works perfectly fine. But that's it for this video. Hope this helps you start to create content if you are thinking about a Fujifilm creator's kit. And, well, remember to like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. I'll be seeing you on the next one.